And we're back. We have another guest with us this morning, Thomas Kennedy, who is with the school board, and you're chairman this year.
I am.
And I'm always interested in what's going on with our school system because of the Rotary Youth Exchange, the students that I have here.
Was she not amazing?
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed.
It's a product of our school system.
Well,
thank you.
Good job. Thank you. The Rotary has done an amazing job, and we had the pleasure of having some of your students, your inbound students, come to us, and that was so wonderful. So thank you for bringing them.
The students were very happy about that too, to be able to go before, all 5 of them are from different countries, to get to go before the school board and talk about how their school system works. They're always, and now the Board of County Commissioners, somebody saw that and said, hey, we want equal time.
Sure,
so
of course.
I'm working with them to get the kids over there. So.
They'll learn you always want to work with kids and animals, if you can.
Yeah, very good. You know, what's going on in the school system?
I'm blessed because I have the opportunity of kind of having a couple of unique perspectives as a board member. I come from a perspective of as a school board member that I bring to it, but I also have a wife that's a 20-year veteran in the school system as a teacher, and I got 2 kids in the school system at elementary and high school. And needless to say, I pretty much can't walk anywhere without getting an opinion from them, and I value it a lot. You know, Florida's public school system right now ranks 7th in the nation, and that was recently, last month, by a well-respected Education Weekly.
That's impressive.
Did that. Well, Citrus is 14th in the state, of a state that's already 7th in the nation, and in many categories, Citrus is in the top 10 and even in the top 3. We've got a couple of schools in top 1%. This year, we had the highest graduation rate in the area, and one of the highest in the state, and the lowest dropout rate.
That's great, and I know that's something you all have been concentrating on
very
for the
much.
past few years.
Our goal is that we would like to graduate 100% of our students. We have about 97% of our students are going on to another opportunity as graduation, because now the state doesn't just simply say if you graduate from high school, they've defined that. So that's why that 80% and that
right.
is a little different. You know, the other thing that I'm proud of, we had 305 students last year that got high dollar scholarships totaling over $14 million.
Wow.
And Rotary is often there with us doing that.
We gave out $15,000
You
last
did.
year, yeah. Just our little club. If you took all the clubs in the county, the 6, it's probably, $30,000, $40,000.
And the Upward Bound program you do on a quarterly basis warms my heart, and that's for students that are truly up and coming, and you make a difference with those students.
Those young people, I've watched them when they go up on stage, and if they've been getting D's or C's or whatever, in some cases failing grades, and now they're getting C's and B's and A's, and their parents are there, and that's what, giving them a showcase to say, hey, you're advancing,
that's
and
right.
That's what we're interested in.
And that's what people don't understand. In Citrus County, we have 15,000 students. We cover 23 schools, from 11 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, 3 high schools. Wow. But here's where it gets interesting. We have, the Crest Center for one of our alternative schools. We have the Renaissance Center for some of our alternative. We have our Technical Institute, a charter school. But the other thing that people sometimes forget, we have a school at the Juvenile Detention Center.
That's right.
Where we graduate typically about 12 students a year, and we have several students there that end up going to college. I like that because the statistics say that 75% of those that get a high school diploma will not reoffend.
Which is important to the public. I mean, that they get in trouble, but that we don't just block them away and the fact that we give them training through the school system so they can get out and they can actually, get out of that cycle is so important.
We accomplished that, Doug, but we have 65% of our students are Title I students, or what we refer to as free and reduced lunch. So that creates a little bit of sometimes an additional challenge and tools that we have to do. And Citrus County has one of the lowest millage rates for funding education in the entire state. And so we're needing to do that while doing that at a very conservative dollar amount. I think some people don't always understand or know too, Citrus County school system, we are the largest public or private employer in Citrus County. We have 2,400 employees. But you know what? We only have 82 administrators. We have one of the lowest ratios from our administrator to our staff
And I
population.
hear people complain about it all the time. Well, if they
Yep.
got rid of some administrators, but if you all are doing the right thing with
We
less
do.
people, you're overseeing more folks that are actually on the front
In the
lines.
classroom, and that's where this board has, and the superintendent has said, we want to focus everything we can towards that classroom. Two things that people forget about school systems: we have the largest transportation system in the county. We transport 10,000 students a day. But I'll tell you, this is the one that always I get surprised. We're the largest restaurant in Citrus County. We serve over 3,000 breakfasts a day and almost 9,000 lunches a day. We have the opportunity of sampling a lot of those meals. I actually go into the cafeterias and purchase some of those meals too. And they are not the old cafeteria.
No, I have
thing
students
anymore.
living in my home that are
That's right.
exchanged, and they tell me that they can have a variety of things they can pick from. And I love going to WTI. The food at WTI is
isn't that great?
fantastic.
I'll tell you, that goes into our culinary, something that I have a strong passion about, and that is our career and technical education programs. I'm one of those people that came out of career and technical education.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, see.
I was trained in electronics in a technical wing of a high school, Dixie Hollins High School. And as a result of that, when I went into the Air Force, I went into the electronics thing, and I worked at NASA, helping to put
Yep.
Neil Armstrong on the moon. It really set the stage for me. So that's so important that we have that right here.
And we have, one of the most exciting programs we have is Crystal River High School's Academy, Health Academy. And it is one of only 10 like it in the nation, because we have a state-of-the-art patient lab where students can not only practice on mannequins, their skills, but
We also have a marine science.
And we have the Marine Science Station, too.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up, but I want to invite you to come back again because I think this is fascinating, and I think that our audience would love to hear more about it. I want to thank you, Tom, for taking
My
your time
pleasure.
to come here. And, I'll get with you in your calendar, and we'll have you back on again soon.
That would be great, Deb.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in today, and make sure that you look in again on Monday, and we'll be right here.